Hello there, welcome to State of Business on our television. I am Pamulta Katugampala. Let's look at the headlines for today. India will also make a financial assistance to Sri Lanka, government sources reveal. And inflation in December reaches record 12.1%, CBSL data shows. And now news in detail. Indian government sources said that a $400 million soft facility and a $500 million credit line for fuel would both reach Sri Lanka this month. One of the packages is said to be delivered by January 10, and in total, India will release 3 requests for financial assistance presented by the government. While the source claims that the Indian government will release the request for financial assistance, exact dates could not be provided and downplayed inquiries as to whether release was contingent on other factors. Energy Minister their government pillar announced last week that Sri Lanka and India would jointly develop the Trincomalee oil tank farm and that the IOC tank lease was extended by 50 years. Finance Minister Rajapaksa is to make his second official visit to India starting on January 10th. Prior to this, BJP's Subramanian Swamy had castigated his government for the failure to extend critical support to Sri Lanka at her neediest hour. Subramanian Swamy, an Indian politician, economist and statistician, is a staunch advocate for a strong, friendly relationship between Sri Lanka and India and no stranger to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's low foreign reserves last week received a boost with the receipt of a $1.5 billion facility signed with China last March. The Chinese facility is to be used to pay Chinese import bills. Meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said that those who insult him have not been able to do an iota of the service he had performed to the country during his lifetime. The comments were made after President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was bestowed with the honorary title of Lankadishwara Padma Vibhushana by the Kote Sri Kalyani Samagri Dharma Mahasangha Sabha, invoking the blessings of the Mahasangha. The honorary title is one of the highest ever accolades by the Mahavihara Vanchika Kote Sri Kalyani Samagri Dharma Mahasangha Sabha. The Mahasangha brought their well wishes for the President, assuring strength to build the country bravely and won't at the same time be ready to face bitter experiences in politics. President Rajapaksa also assured the Mahasangha that people's aspirations will be fulfilled by overcoming the obstacles encountered on his journey. He also added that he has no worries to make tough decisions if needed.
Ma Sinhala yan bahutarayage chandeen තේරී පත් වූ ජනාධිපතිවරකු බව එදා රුවන්වැලි මහා සෑ ඉදිරියේ ජනපති ධූරයේ දියුරුම් දුන් අවස්ථාවේ ප්‍රකාශ කළා. මා මෙරට ප්‍රථම පුරවැසියා කිරීමට බොහෝ කැපවීම් කළ සිංහල බෞද්ධයන් හා එම උරුමය රකබලා ගැනීම මාහට පැවරී ඇති පරම වගකීමක් බව මා තරයේ විශ්වාස කරනවා. මා ඒ වෙනුවෙන් නිරන්තරයෙන් කැපවෙන බවත් මා ලබා ඇති බෞද්ධ ශික්ෂණය හා ආభాෂය නිසාම මෙරට අනිකුත් සහෝදර ආගමික පුරවැසියන්ට බියෙන් සැකෙන් තොරව නිදහසේ ජීවත් වීමේ පරිසරයක් උදා කර දී ඇති බවත් විශේෂයෙන් සඳහන් කළ යුතුයි.
The headline inflation as measured by the year-on-year change in the Colombo Consumer Price Index increased to a record 12.1% in December 2021 from 9.9% in November 2021. On an annual average basis, the CCPI increased to 6% in December 2021 from 5.3% in November 2021. According to the central bank, an in-depth analysis of the key drivers of current inflation suggests that a large component driven by supply-side factors and that a detailed explanation will be published. The CCPI's spike comes with the Department of Census and Statistics announcing last month that inflation, as measured in November by the National Consumer Price Index, moved to 11.1%. CBS has said inflation was driven by monthly increases in prices of items in both food and non-food categories. Food inflation increased to 22.1% in December 2021 from 17.5% in November 2021, while non-food inflation increased to 7.5% in December 2021 from 6.4% in November 2021. Monthly change of CCPI was recorded at 2.64% in December 2021 due to price increases observed in items of both food and non-food categories, which were 1.80% and 0.84% respectively. Prominent increases were observed in prices of vegetables, fresh fish and green chilies. Prices of items in the non-food category recorded increases due to price increases observed in the restaurants and hotels, transport, alcoholic beverages and tobacco subcategories during the month. Core inflation, reflecting underlying inflation in the economy, increased to 8.3% in December 2021 from 7% in November 2021. Annual average core inflation increased to 4.4% in December 2021 from 4% in November 2021. Stay tuned for more news after the short break. Welcome back after the break. Sri Lanka, under the Expo 2020 spotlight, aimed to attract trade, investment and tourism with its National Day event held earlier today at its pavilion in Dubai. The event was attended by a high-level delegation led by Foreign Affairs Minister Professor G.L. Peris, Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranathunga and the Sri Lankan Ambassador to the UAE, Malraj Silva. The delegation was joined by UAE officials and engaged in retail bilateral discussions. Under the theme Part of the Indian Ocean, the National Day of Sri Lanka featured cultural performances staged at Al Wasl Plaza at the Stage of Nations today. Expo 2020 Commissioner General and Sri Lanka Tourism Chairperson Kimali Fernando delivered the destination pitch, highlighting the growth and revival capacity of Sri Lanka's tourism industry post-pandemic. Fernando, in a statement to local news, said that since opening, the Sri Lankan pavilion has attracted close to 52,000 individuals. She also stated that Sri Lanka got over $1 million worth of earned media coverage. Sri Lanka's Consul General in Dubai, Nalin Vijayaratne, commented that it has been a great opportunity to attract interest from visitors around the globe, and the tourism and export products including gems, plantation industries and investments were promoted at the pavilion. Vijayaratne added that a lot of inquiries into these areas were received and that their conversation into tangible trade and investment is expected during the year. The pavilion showcases Sri Lankan arts and crafts, retail products from export businesses, Ceylon Tea, Ceylon Gems, Board of Investment, Port City, SLTB, Sri Lanka Tourism Travel B2B Forum, Sri Lankan Airlines and Luxala. Fernando says that the pavilion has been a success given the limited time and resources that were available. Sri Lanka has recently received considerable exposure as a desirable tourist destination. It was recognized as among the top 25 islands in the world, the second best place to become a digital nomad, the home of 4 of Asia's top 25 resorts, featured on Bloomberg Explore the New 7 Wonders of the World, and ranked as the 4th top wellness tourism destination. Government's vision is a digital inclusive Sri Lanka fueled by a digital economy and smart nation. This was mentioned by Director General of the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka, Oshitha Senanayake, just 2 days before his notice to the government of his intention to step down from the post.
Our vision is a digitally inclusive Sri Lanka fueled by a digital economy and a smart nation. And to that effect, there's significant progress made as a country across the last 2 years. Now, we all know a digital transformation of a country cannot be achieved or realized without ensuring the critical most piece of infrastructure, which is connectivity, being addressed on priority. Across the last 2 years, Sri Lanka has on priority focused on the expansion of connectivity, which has been the prime mandate of the Telecommunication Regulatory Commission in terms of expanding 4G and fiber coverage across the country. Due to the COVID pandemic, just last April, if we rewind back to 2020, when we first went into the lockdown as a country, the demand for broadband overnight expanded by almost 44%. Our children and the next generation had to adapt to a concept of studying from home. Our workforces, both the public and the private sector, had to adapt to a work from home culture. That was quite unique to us and new. Now, what that meant was we had to ensure that capacitating was initiated in terms of more spectrum to ensure that we address the demands that was staggeringly increasing, which I see as a good problem as a country, where people are adapting to digital technologies.
Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka recently revealed that they have already completed the expansion of the 4G coverage in 10 districts including Trincomalee and Batticaloa. Director General of the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka, Oshada Senanayake, at a public gathering last week said the all-island coverage will be completed within the next 2 years, but the time has already come to go for 5G technology.
Today we are one of the first countries to ensure access to this e-Taksala platform, which is the official e-learning platform of all government schools, completely free of charge of data costs. And I think we should indeed be proud as a country of being one of the first countries to extend the concept of free education to the digital front as well, Honourable Ministers. Now, as we go along in this rapid pace of digital transformation, we cannot only focus on 4G. We have to focus on ahead-of-the-curve technologies such as 5G that was previously mentioned. In terms of 4G, we have the Government Sannivedana project, or as we call it, the Connect Sri Lanka project in English, that the government is investing 50% of all capital expenditure in rural connectivity. And Telecommunication Regulatory Commission is spearheading that project, again under the leadership of Excellency the President. Today, we are rolling out expansion programs in 8 districts. And we are just going to launch the Trincomalee and Jaffna districts by next week. So we are on par with our target of starting work in 10 districts by the end of 2021 amidst the challenges that we have faced due to the COVID pandemic. And the vision for the rest of the remaining 15 districts would be to cover it in 2022. And hopefully by 2023, 2024, which we are confident we can completely cover Sri Lanka with 100% 4G and fiber connectivity. In fact, we just got cabinet approval a few weeks back to fiber connect all 10,150 schools in Sri Lanka, which I believe is going to be a significant feat as a country as well.
Stay tuned for more news after the short break. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a positive note today. The all share price index gained 399.81 points to close at 12,625.82, and the S&P SL 20 gained 114.99 points to close at 4,348.24. The turnover was 9.6 billion rupees and over 773 million shares were traded. Coming up next are forex rates. Well, that's all we have for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.